Supply half-track is ready for orders.
Welcome to a 1v1 on Hon3ynuts. Once again, this is still round 2. This game will be Hon3ynuts against one company pipe aMonk, playing as Soviets. OKW in the west base, Soviets in the east base. Hon3ynuts going with a Volksgrenadier start, double conscripts from aMonk. Stern Pioneers making their way out of the base, take the strategic point, and are actually skipping past the victory point and moving straight for the cutoff. SWS nope, I changed my mind. Taking the victory point instead. SWS half-track is making its way forward, however. Barbed wire going down as well. SWS half-track is making its way with Stern Pioneer support to the cutoff now, but there is no Kuba wagon, so it will just be the Stern Pioneers and the SWS. Combat engineers taking the fuel point and conscripts making their way up from the right side. SWS half-track is going to push them. They won't be able to fire effectively on those Stern Pioneers. They also have a position in green cover, and they will immediately be forced to retreat. That's right, MLG esports. Win tournaments, earn real money. We have combat engineers taking the fuel point there in the south, and munitions are getting taken by Hon3ynuts Volksgrenadiers there as well. Strategic point cutoff about to fall. However, the conscripts in the north will be able to take that munitions point, and we also have more Volksgrenadiers making their way out of the base towards the strategic point. Cutoff does get taken in addition to the munitions point, and we have combat engineers harassing that strategic point. These conscripts making their way back to the front lines. Third squad of conscripts as well. SWS half-track will push the combat engineers around, although ultimately it's not that necessary. They'll fall quite quickly and do minimal damage. And there they go. Both conscript squads making their way towards the cutoff as well. Volksgrenadiers harassing from within this tiny little spot that you can stand in behind this green cover. We will be able to successfully take that. SWS is falling quite low, and if aMonk were to research AT grenades early and catch Hon3ynuts off guard and take that out, it would delay his tech significantly, as it's already been 3 minutes and he hasn't planted that thing yet.
Standing by. Now under our control. The sector is at risk. Man down! The enemy has found us!
Stern Pioneers in a close engagement against those conscripts, but it looks like they could win. Yep, there they go. Conscripts dropping like flies. Oh no! Run! Run, little conscript! No! The Stern Pioneers wipe them at range. Meanwhile, that squad retreats with only one model remaining from massed Volksgrenadiers there. Fortunately, conscripts have successfully taken the fuel in the north, so the Soviet resource income isn't as bad as it might look, but these engagements are not going very favorably. Hon3ynuts, meanwhile, is producing a battle group headquarters here behind this house. So we will have access to healing. Conscripts also engaging double Volksgrenadiers at range, and Volksgrenadiers will be able to engage them pretty cost effectively at this distance. And an MG-34 has been fielded as well. Stern Pioneers reinforcing, making their way back to the front line. Volksgrenadiers here on the left are engaging some conscripts, taking control of the north munitions point. This engagement continues, and it is going poorly for the conscripts. They've lost 2 models. The Volksgrenadiers have sustained almost no damage, really. This squad is, however, quite wounded, and more conscripts are making their way to the front line. With 3 squads, you should be able to overwhelm this position. Volksgrenadiers reposition into better cover, but they are starting to take heavy damage, and this squad is flanking. Meanwhile, conscripts in this building taking some light damage from these Volksgrenadiers, and the Stern Pioneers here are flanking around as well. Hon3ynuts Volksgrenadiers in the south will be forced away by superior numbers. And Molotovs have been researched as well. He leaves his position in the house to throw a Molotov on these Folks Grenadiers. It's going out now. Highness does not dodge it very well. Takes heavy damage, but does retreat before sustaining any model losses, and he will be able to heal all of that. Conscripts harassing some territory now. And Hon3ynuts has actually purchased a fallback position, which is a huge waste of manpower because this thing is right next to his base. I honestly think there was no reason for him to spend 300 manpower on that, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
This is it.
He could have just spammed more stuff. In fact, extra Stern Pioneer squad I think is not even that bad against conscript spam. Or another MG34, or just more Volks, whatever, anything but that. Folks Grenadiers taking up a position in the house. These Folks Grenadiers healing up, making their way up to the north. Molotovs are probably going to go out soon. Yep, here it comes. He does leave the house. Folks Grenadiers engaging in close range. Stern Pioneers could wipe that combat engineer squad. He's not paying attention, and there it goes. Ouch. Needs to watch those side engagements, especially when there's a squad of Stern Pioneers running around. You don't have a whole lot of time to react. Conscripts are going to grab the munitions point in the south.
The enemy has us ranged.
The enemy is taking what we have secured. Shock troops have arrived.
Bleeding, comrade.
Conscripts do win an engagement against those Stern Pioneers on the right side, and they will be forced to retreat. Fortunately, he has a fallback position set up, so he will retreat an extra 200 feet less.
Good and ready.
Center VP falls into OKW hands once again. Meanwhile, conscripts in the south will be able to harass the VP and munitions, but we have a successful cutoff maneuver by these Folks Grenadiers, and Hon3ynuts has chosen Fortifications Doctrine and thrown a bunch of S-mines down, which could be problematic for these shock troops. Hon3ynuts is a little slow to kite, though, when he notices what's happening. He then retreats, but takes a ton of damage from his own S-mines. Shock troops take a healthy dose of damage themselves, however. And one wrong move, I think he could like lose that full shock troop squad. He should be able to safely retreat from where he's standing, though.
We have secured the area.
Now that he's seen shock troops, well, that doesn't really tell him anything, other than the fact that it's not guard motor coordination. So there will not be T-34-85s, but he doesn't know if it's shock rifle or shock motor or counterattack, so
Enemy forces are attempting to
we know
capture our territory.
it's shock rifle. But Hon3ynuts doesn't know. MG34 is setting up.
Fire incoming! We are bleeding, comrade!
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
We are taking losses! Your predecessor died a hero!
The enemy has cut off a sector.
Folks Grenadiers successfully push away all conscripts there. Soviet will have to regroup for his next push. Double MG34 is over here on the right side to attempt to prevent harassment attempts, although their arc of fire is somewhat questionable. I have no idea what that one's aimed at. This one extremely vulnerable to the flank that's about to hit it.
Flanking attack!
Should probably just retreat, especially with those shock troops already on the way. There is a machine gun here setting up, but there's green cover littered everywhere. Fortunately, the shock troops stopped to capture some territory. Meanwhile, Hon3ynuts is harassing the cutoff again. There is a squad of conscripts just defending the victory point, trying to slow the loss of VPs. And we may see more S-mines going down, or he's just going to, no, he's just taking up a position in the green cover, continuing to harass with Stern Pioneers. These freshly healed squads are on their way back to the front lines. Shock troops and conscripts also doing what harassment they can over here on the right side. These machine guns are set up to cover various possible angles of attack. Shock troops are about to walk right into it. They are throwing a smoke grenade, but I don't think it's going to work against this one. Hon3ynuts is repositioning the machine gun that cannot fire, although honestly I don't even think he had to. You might even pin this. Yep, there it goes. You could have just left that squad where it was. Meanwhile, the conscripts will continue to circle around the north, and Hon3ynuts' harassment remains uncontested here in the south. Lux is also hitting the field now, and Obersoldaten are on their way. Molotov going out, but it's a little off target. Oh, but he walked back into it. Looks like Hon3ynuts overthought that engagement a little bit. But the Lux is here, and there are no anti-tank grenades. This could seal the game right now. Flanking around into their retreat path. Oh, nasty S-mine burst just wiped some more models. Lux following into the base. There's absolutely nothing to defend. A field gun is in production, but it's not going to get here in time. AT grenade research is also not complete. Lux is getting right up into close range. There goes one squad. There goes another squad. Now there is no threat of AT grenades whatsoever, and that shock troop squad is in a lot of danger. Conscripts are on their way to attempt to get the AT grenade off. The field gun will also be here very soon, and the Lux will be forced to retreat before it can take out that shock troop squad, but that is a massive loss. Oh no, don't lose that full conscript squad. Alright. Lux gets 10 kills as soon as it hits the field, and in that 10 kills are 2 full squad wipes. Ouch. In the meantime, Hon3ynuts has taken a few Volksgrenadier model losses, but no full squads lost. Ultimately, he's doing quite well. Also, all pushes on the field have been pulled back, and these MG34s will be able to retake all of the territory. Lux sustained some engine damage, forcing away the conscripts on the victory point. Stern Pioneers not really nearby to repair, but they will get down there eventually. Shock troops pushing up towards the cutoff point here. They will, of course, have to deal with these S-mines, however. And there goes the Lux. Just kind of got stuck in this area. Although, honestly, it pretty much did its job. Wiped 2 squads, inflicted a massive amount of bleed. Obviously, it would be nice to keep it around to deal with shock troops, but he also has Obersoldaten. Second squad of Obersoldaten is about to hit the field.
The battle is about to commence.
And I will recuperate a little bit of his investment there with salvage. 5 fuel returned. Minesweeper has been produced, but in their attempts to sweep up these mines, they're taking massive damage from those Obersoldaten. MG34 burst almost wipes out the squad. These shock troops stand no chance of closing that gap. They've sustained way too much damage. I don't even know if they're going to escape. And they do. Oh! Oh! What? Did you see that? Did you see that? How many models were left in that squad when that just fucking happened? Wow. Field gun wipes the Stern Pioneer squad.
Enemy forces are neutralizing us.
We are bleeding.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Engineer standing by.
Ultimately, I don't think that's going to matter. Soviet player is so far behind. Not going to have an IS-2 for a long... Oh, yep, there you go. Well played, Hon3ynuts. Well played.